So today we'll be discussing about immunopharmacology. Now immunopharmacology में pharmacology. Okay. In immunopharmacology, you will have two different types of drugs. One are drugs that are increasing your immune system. The other are drugs that are decreasing the immune system. There will be instances where you would want to suppress the immune system. Okay. Immunopharmacology as such has two different types of drugs. One are called immunosuppressants. Okay, when you want to decrease the function of your immune system, and the other are called immunostimulants or immunomodulatory drugs. Okay, so ये दो टाइप के ड्रग्स आते हैं. Now first of all we'll talk about immunosuppressants. Now before talking about immunosuppressants, I'll just revise what is immunity. Now immunity as such अपन लोग we studied in quite a lot of detail, but immunity is the phenomenon in your body which is getting triggered whenever an antigen presents itself, a foreign antigen presents itself in the body, and it needs to be eliminated. Now the process of elimination can happen in two different ways. या तो सेल mediated immunity रहती है या humoral immunity रहती है. Okay, so there are two different types of immunity in your body. One is cell mediated immunity. Cell mediated immunity जो है, this comes from T cells. This kicks in slow generally. ठीक है, पहले humoral immunity आती है आपकी. Cell mediated immunity will generally take a little bit of time. This is triggered by T cells. यहाँ पर there are no antibodies formed. Okay, T lymphocytes will get activated. They will start, cytokines are released near the area of inflammation, and T cells will come into picture and they will phagocytose, or they kill that bacteria or the pathogen that is coming. Okay, humoral immunity may, on the other hand, this is triggered by B cells. Specifically, this is triggered by, or this is mediated by the antibodies that are produced by B cell. You know, your B cells have the capability of producing antibodies against antigen. So antigen specific antibody banane lagti hai aapki body. Okay, that is part of your humoral immunity. Whenever a pathogen comes inside your body, depending on the antigen that uh, depending on the antigen जो पैरासाइट है या जो बैक्टीरिया है उसके सरफेस पे डिफरेंट एंटीजेंस रहते हैं. डिपेंडिंग ऑन दैट टाइप ऑफ एंटीजन, योर बॉडी और स्पेसिफिकली योर बी सेल्स विल मेक स्पेसिफिक टाइप्स ऑफ एंटीबॉडीज टू काउंटर दोज एंटीजेंस. That is a part of humoral immunity. Now, in immunosuppressants, you will target both of them. You will target cell-mediated immunity and humoral immunity. Now, some drugs have preferably more influence over cell-mediated immunity versus humoral, while other drugs will have more influence over humoral than cell-mediated. That is why some immunosuppressants are given in combination. Especially in some specific conditions, you will have to give it in combinations. Now, there are four main classes in immunosuppressants, drugs that will suppress the immune system. Okay. Now, first class will be T cell inhibitors. ठीक है, टी सेल इनहिबिटर्स में आपका आता साइक्लोस्पोरिन, cyclosporin, they have tacrolimus, sirolimus, mycophenolate mofetil. Okay, we'll discuss some of them here. Now, first of all, coming to cyclosporin. Cyclosporin जो है, this is the cyclic peptide. You generally get it from a fungus. ठीक है, that fungus is called Beauveria nevea. उससे you will extract cyclosporin. All right. So first of all, cyclosporin. The mechanism of action through which cyclosporin works is that at an early stage, it will inhibit T cell proliferation. It will not let T cell get activated. It will not let T cell get proliferated. Meaning it is mainly acting on cell mediated immunity. Okay, क्या करता है ये? This fellow will get inside the body and it will bind to one particular protein in your body called cyclophilin. Okay, cyclosporin This is mechanism of action, enters the body and binds to cyclophilin. Now, cyclophilin is a very important part in activation of T cell. Okay, it plays a very important part in activation of T cell. Whenever you want cell mediated immunity to work, you need interleukins, you need T cells to function properly. यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है? It is interfering in the pathway where T cells are getting activated. So what it is doing is, first of all, it will enter your body and bind to cyclophilin. It will make a complex. This complex will inhibit something called calcineurin phosphatase. Okay, that's an enzyme. This complex inhibits calcineurin phosphatase. Okay. The result of inhibiting calcineurin phosphatase is that T cell activation and interleukin production, interleukin 2 production, both of them are inhibited. So as a result, T cell activation and interleukin 2. Okay, I am abbreviating it as IL. That is interleukin, mediator of inflammation. Interleukin 2 production is inhibited. Meaning, if there is inhibition of T cell activation and interleukin 2, cell mediated immunity will not be up to the mark. There will be a sharp decline in cell mediated immunity. When will you use this? There are two main conditions in which you will use T cell inhibitors. Specifically, you will use cyclosporin. One is organ transplantation. Whenever you're transplanting an organ from one donor to a patient or the recipient, in order to suppress the recipient's immune system, why would you want to suppress the immune system? Now, let's suppose I'm cutting a part of liver out of some person and giving it to another person. Okay, so I'm transplanting it to another person. In the second person, who is the recipient, their immunity, obviously I'll perform several matching tests, HLA testing और दूसरे testing भी रहते, where you are matching their blood group, you are matching their antigen type, you are matching their कितने की रहते test. Okay, once you have done with that, even after that, what happens is, because it is a new organ, now you know that it is a liver. For your body or for the recipient's body, it is a pathogen. Okay, it is something foreign which is coming inside the body. Before it can accept that new liver as its own, so let's suppose I have two people. I have person X and person Y. Now person X is donating a little bit of liver to person Y. Person Y's body will not be able to recognize the part of liver that X is giving as a liver. It will only register it initially as a pathogen, something external which might harm the body. That is why there is immune reaction against that liver. Now the problem is, when you are trying to give a little part of liver to Y, if there is an immune reaction in Y, severe immune reaction in the person Y, what will happen is that small part of liver that you are giving is gets damaged. Okay, during the transplant, the small part of liver or whichever organ that you are transplanting, that will get damaged extensively if you are not able to suppress the immune system of Y for a little while. After a little while, that body or the person Y's body will start recognizing the new liver as its own. Okay, I'll repeat once again. Person X hai, this fellow is giving liver to, let's suppose these two are brothers, and one brother, brother Y, has got into an accident or something, and their liver got busted and they need a new liver. So in that case, what they are doing is, they are donating one liver or a part of the liver from X and giving it to Y. Now during that time, what happens is, let's suppose we are giving a small part of liver like this to Y. Okay, one second guys. Right. Sorry about that. So as I was telling you, a part of liver, when X is giving a part of liver to Y, Y's body initially will not recognize this liver. All right. So what happens is it will mount an immune reaction against Y, against the liver of X. Okay, against the small part of liver that X has donated. As such, what you would want to do during this part of time is suppress the immunity of Y for a little while, till Y is able to accept this new liver as its own liver. ठीक है, till Y is able to accept that new organ. ठीक है, जब तक आप immune system को suppress करें, this is also so that rejection reactions can be stopped. All right, you can rejection reaction of liver या kidney या bone marrow या any other transplant, eye transplant कर रहे हैं, whatever. That is one scenario where you use cyclosporin. Second scenario where you use it is in autoimmune disorders. So if a person has a disorder where their own immune system is attacking their body, for example, rheumatoid arthritis है, ठीक है? Rheumatoid arthritis is a type of arthritis where your own body is attacking your joints and causing arthritis. Okay, cells of your joints. Now we have cyclosporin mainly is used in rheumatoid arthritis in exchange or as an alternative to methotrexate. मेनली methotrexate बोल के एक ड्रग रहता है rheumatoid arthritis जो है rheumatoid diseases में there is a specific class of drug called DMARDs, disease modified anti rheumatic drugs बोल के. You will have several drugs in that. One important drug in that is called methotrexate, MTX बोलते हैं उसको. Now normally MTX देते. Let's suppose a patient is there who has rheumatoid arthritis and they are not able to take methotrexate or they are not responding to methotrexate. So as an alternative, you can give cyclosporin in such cases. You can also give it in other autoimmune disorders like let's suppose severe psoriasis है या फिर IBD है patient को, bowel disease, okay, or else the patient has nephrotic syndrome mainly due to immune origin, वो पूरों में दे सकते हैं आप. All right. Now coming to the PK properties of the drug. Once again, audio. Right. So as I was telling you, now PK is that it gets metabolized by liver, specifically microsomal enzymes. Gets metabolized by microsomal enzymes of liver. If it is getting metabolized by microsomal enzymes of liver, it means that whenever you are giving any microsomal enzyme inducer or microsomal enzyme inhibitor, you might have to adjust the dose of both of these drugs. So for example, you give a drug like cimetidine, okay, or you give something like phenytoin. Those are drugs that will influence the level of microsomal enzymes. They either inhibit or induce. In such cases, you might have to change the dose or you have to check. ठीक है, आप ओरल दे सकते हैं या आईवी दे सकते हैं dosage of cyclosporin. Now as such, this drug has certain side effects, certain very important and very severe side effects that too. Immunosuppressants tend to have quite a lot of severe side effects. Okay, first of all will be nephrotoxicity. It can cause severe nephrotoxicity, it can cause hepatotoxicity, it can cause gum hypertrophy. Okay, the patient's gum will undergo hypertrophy. There is increased susceptibility to infection. Now, obviously, whenever you are giving a immunosuppressant, see, such patients who have undergone transplantation reactions or patients who need immunosuppressants, उन लोगों के अंदर, especially those who are undergone transplantation, they have to be kept under aseptic conditions for a very long period of time because their immune system, you are suppressing their immune system. Even normal response is suppressed. अगर autoimmune disease है बोले तो एक बात है. Autoimmune disease में क्या हो रहा? The patient's immune system is in hyperdrive. Okay, it is working more than it should. That is why it is causing damage. Wherein if you give immunosuppressants, it will come back to normal levels. If a person has, let's suppose, is undergoing transplantation, generally the other person who is the recipient, let's suppose they have normal immunity and you are giving immunosuppressants, their immunity will go down. ठीक है. As such, they'll become more susceptible to infections. So one of the nursing implications that you need to remember is that you have to make sure strict aseptic measures are followed. ठीक है, especially for those who have undergone transplantation. So it increases susceptibility to infection. It causes hypertension. It can cause hyperlipidemia. Okay, and it can cause hyperglycemia. So be very, very careful when you're giving it to diabetics or you're giving it to patients with cardiovascular disorders. Okay. If they already have hypertension or if they have some other disorder of the sort, be careful. Now, coming to the next drug, tacrolimus. Tacrolimus, sirolimus, दोनों का mechanism of action will be similar to cyclosporin. Okay, they will inhibit T cell activation. Now, they are obtained from macrolides. They are technically antibiotics. Tacrolimus और sirolimus जो है, they are antibiotics of macrolide origin. ठीक है, यहाँ पर एरिथ्रोमाइसिन वो पूरे रहता है ना, those origin. So what it does is that you will get it from Streptomyces species, so something called, especially tacrolimus जो है, uh, you get it from a bacteria called Streptomyces succubensis. Okay, as I told you, mechanism of action is similar to cyclosporin. It can be given both orally and parenterally, but absorption from gut is incomplete. So it is generally preferred to be given as parenteral drug, tacrolimus specifically. Okay, it will get extensively bound to your plasma proteins, meaning it is very hard to remove it from your body if there is toxicity. Now, as such, this drug can also cause nephrotoxicity, it can cause GIT disturbances, it can cause hypertension, hyperglycemia. Another important thing that tacrolimus can cause is seizures. Okay, it can cause tremors and seizures, besides causing um, seizures. Right. Besides causing hypertension and gastrointestinal disturbances. Okay, your sirolimus will also be similar. Now, as such, the use of these drugs, tacrolimus low or sirolimus low, they are used for graft rejection reactions, meaning organ transplantation में use करते. You can use topically, specifically you can use topical gel जैसा मिलता of sirolimus. You can use it in psoriasis. Okay, if a patient has coronary stents, आप उसको भी यूज करना पड़ता है. Let's suppose you are putting a stent in a patient. In such cases, you might have to give immunosuppressants for a little while before that stent is recognized by the body as its own, because you are, अब समझो आप stent लगा रहे, okay, in one of the major arteries or one of the major blood vessels of your heart. ठीक है, suppose you are putting a stent like this. Now this stent is technically a foreign object. Okay, it is not present in the body. You are cutting a part of the blood vessel and putting a new stent there. Now, as such, your body might it will actually recognize this as a foreign pathogen if you are not giving an immunosuppressant for a little while, till your body starts recognizing that stent as a part of your own body. Okay? So you have to do that. In that case, you can give sirolimus, everolimus bhi de sakte. All right. Then coming to the next class, cytotoxic drugs. Cyto. Now, cytotoxic drugs में mainly आता azathioprine, azathioprine. You have methotrexate, cyclophosphamide. Okay. You can use some others as well. These are the more common ones that are used. You can use leflunomide. Flunomide. Okay. Sometimes chlorambucil is also used in this. Now, as such, as the name suggests, cytotoxic drug matlab it is killing the cell. Now, what it does is most of these drugs will suppress cell-mediated immunity. Cyclophosphamide specifically is a suppressor of humoral immunity. Okay, remember that. Cytotoxic drugs may cyclophosphamide is the only drug that is able to inhibit humoral immunity. The rest will inhibit cell-mediated immunity. Okay, specifically used in autoimmune disorders and graft rejection reactions. Now, coming to the first drug, that is leflunomide. Now, leflunomide is a prodrug. It gets converted in your body to its active metabolite. Okay, once its active metabolite is formed, so if we discuss about leflunomide first, फ्लूनोमाइड, ठीक है, इज अ प्रोड्रग. प्रोड्रग का मतलब ये है कि इट इज नॉट in active form, it is an inactive drug. Once it gets inside your body, it will get converted into its active form. That active metabolite will have a function. Now whenever leflunomide is getting into your body, so first of all it gets converted into active metabolite. Okay, this active metabolite in turn will inhibit autoimmune T cell proliferation. Okay, so this drug inhibits T cell proliferation and antibody production. Antibody production that is occurring by B cell. So leflunomide is a drug that is affecting both cell mediated immunity and humoral immunity. Antibody production by B cell. ठीक है, तो आपके यहाँ पर क्या आ रहा है, इट इज इनहिबिटिंग टी सेल प्रोलिफरेशन एंड इट इज कॉजिंग एंटीबॉडी, इनहिबिटिंग एंटीबॉडी प्रोडक्शन बाय बी सेल. The result is that you are able to give it orally, very effective against what you call several transplantation reactions. You can give it very very well as an oral drug. Okay, it will get absorbed very easily and it will get show functions quickly. One problem with this drug is that T half is very long. It will stay in your body for a very very long period of time, and it has a long, big, very long and big potential to cause adverse effects. So, ये drug का T half is around 5 to 40 days. Okay, days. Be careful about that. It will stay in your body for a very long period of time, and the longer it stays, the higher the chance for the drug to cause adverse effects. Now, generally, you use leflunomide with methotrexate, okay, especially in rheumatoid arthritis patients who are not responding to methotrexate alone. Now, generally, as I told you, rheumatoid arthritis patients में methotrexate is like a standard drug that is used. Some patients will not respond to MTX alone. MTX बोलते हैं methotrexate को. For such patients, you might have to include leflunomide along with methotrexate. Okay, so that is one use in it. Now, this drug undergoes intrahepatic circulation, meaning the dose will get decreased whenever it undergoes metabolism through your liver. All right. Now, coming to the next drug, we have immunosuppressant antibodies. Now, immunosuppressant antibodies, जो है, they are quite literally they are proteins, and they are how should I put it? They are small chemicals which are, they're not exactly drugs per se. Technically they are drugs, but they are very small drugs मिलते ही है, ठीक है. They are very very potent antibodies. Now for example we have muromonab, ठीक है, muromonab CD3. Now this drug is a monoclonal antibody. Monoclonal antibodies are very good suppressants of T cells. Okay, what they do is this is a monoclonal antibody to CD3 antigens of your T cells. So this acts as an antibody to your T cell. Okay, so this is a monoclonal antibody to CD3 antigens of T lymphocytes. Now, if you look at your T lymphocytes, they will have, let's suppose this is a T lymphocytic cell, they will have several antigens on their surface. One such antigen is the CD3 antigen. What you are doing is you are producing an antibody outside the person's body, meaning you are synthetically making an antibody against this T lymphocyte. You end up in suppressing the immune system. How you do that is you give an antibody against the T cell itself. Okay, यहाँ पर you are making an antibody outside and you are giving that as a drug form. That is muromonab. Once you give that antibody, generally you will give IV. ठीक है, within a few minutes T cells will die. Okay, within a few minutes T cells will literally disappear from the blood. That is the what do you call advantage of giving Miromana. Very very quick action, but the action will not be prolonged. It will only work for a shorter period of time. As such, it will not be very very long action. You have another drug called infliximab as well. Okay, infliximab, adalimumab, muromumab, ये पूरे similar drugs रहते, they are antibodies which are synthetically produced, and these antibodies are given into the patient in a drug form. Once you are giving that antibody, those antibodies will trigger your immune cells, or to put it in another way, they will kill your immune cells. They'll rather than suppressing them, they will eliminate the immune cells altogether. Okay, so that is immunosuppressant antibodies. Then we have immunostimulants. Okay. Now, immunostimulant drugs, yeah, immunomodulatory drugs, these are given, as the name suggests, to increase immune response. Okay. If a patient who is having, let's suppose, AIDS, या फिर cancer, या फिर any chronic illness, जिसमें significant immunodeficiency होती, in such patients you can give immunostimulants. Okay. Now, this drugs in this will mainly include BCG vaccine. ठीक है, vaccines, anti-sera, वो पूरे इसमें ही आते हैं immunostimulants में. They are increasing the output of your immunity, or they are reinforcing your immunity, they are helping your immunity. Now one is BCG vaccine, TB में जो देते हैं. Then we have levamisole. Now levamisole is technically an anti-helminthic drug, but it is used here as well. Okay, you can also use at least initially they used to use thalidomide. Thalidomide बोल के एक drug मिलता था. Now it is completely banned. Okay, the drug is severely teratogenic. It will cause something called sea lion syndrome in babies, where they will not be born with limbs. Okay, that is one of the reasons why thalidomide is stopped, or it is discontinued, not used anymore. But when it was in use, उसको multiple myeloma या lupus में देते थे. In any case, the current immunostimulants, first of all, will have interferons. Now, interferons जो है, they are cytokines, literally. Okay, आपकी body में जैसा, once there is a pathogen, you know the immune response. Whenever a pathogen enters your body, it will start causing damage to your cells, and your cells will start producing cytokines, inflammatory mediators, so that inflammation can be triggered. Okay, once a pathogen is entering into your body and killing any epithelial cell or any cell for that matter, that cell will start producing certain chemicals. Those chemicals are responsible for triggering an immune reaction. Interferons do that. ठीक है, आप बाहर से interferons, you will give it to the patient. Okay, now these are cytokines. These cytokines have an antiviral property, and they have a immunomodulatory property. So these are cytokines. So rather than depending on the patient, now let's suppose we already have a patient who we know that their immunity is not working properly, तो उनके अंदर immune response बराबर नहीं होता. As such, what you're doing is you're helping them by giving cytokines externally, by giving them in a drug form. Okay, so these are cytokines with antiviral and immunomodulatory properties. ठीक है. Now, as such, you will get different types of interferons. For example, interferon INF बोलते हैं लोगों को. ठीक है, you get INF alpha and beta. INF alpha and INF beta are very good against viruses. ठीक है, whenever you have a severe viral infection, उनके अंदर interferon alpha, interferon beta दे सकते हैं. Interferon gamma is used as an immunomodulating agent. ठीक है, they will bind to specific receptors and they will activate your immune system. They will increase the host's defense system. That is the mechanism of action of interferons. Then we have immunization as well. You can perform immunization by giving vaccine, yeah, by giving anti-sera. Okay, different types of vaccines for different types of infections. All right, polio vaccine, TB vaccine, you get several types of vaccines. All right, depending on age, there will be several different doses that you will have to take almost up to the age of 14, 15. Right? Sometimes repeated doses as well. Sometimes for new infections as well, you will have to take vaccines. Anti-sera is something similar to vaccine as well. It will supplement and support your immune system. They are literally ready-made antibodies. Okay, anti-sera are antibodies that are made synthetically. अब वो antibodies you are putting them into the patient's body so that particular or the person's body so that they have immunity against one particular disease or a particular condition. Then you have immunoglobulins. Specifically, you will have gamma globulins. ठीक है? They will carry antibodies, specifically antibodies against tetanus, antibodies against rabies या diphtheria, hepatitis. ये antibodies जो है आप उन लोग पेशेंट के अंदर या नॉर्मल पेशेंट यू कैन इंजेक्ट दिस immunoglobulin. All right. But one problem with immunoglobulin is that the patient might have anaphylactic reaction or serum sickness because of immunoglobulins. Especially immunoglobulins या anti-sera भी दिए तो कभी कभी हो सकता. So there is that. Now, the most important part that you need to remember about immunostimulants or immunosuppressants is that one is you have to maintain strict aseptic conditions, especially for those patients who are undergoing transplantation reactions. Monitor the patient very, very carefully. Okay, for any signs of infection or signs of fever, these are mainly for immunosuppressant drugs. Okay, whenever you are giving immunosuppressant and the patient is getting infection, and the patient is getting fever or something like that, immediately report that. Okay, because they will progress much more quickly. There is no immunity in their body because you are externally giving immunosuppressants to suppress their immune system. उनके अंदर infection का response ज़्यादा fast रहता. So keep that in mind. Right.